listening to Crystal Clear Lore, a Wormsong production. It was Sean O'Sullivan's first lambing season since his folks had died and left him the family farm on Dingle Peninsula. Lambing season was hard enough for most farmers hereabouts, but when you have about 80 ewes for one man, it could be a nightmare without help. He could call on a few neighbors for help, but this year felt different. Everyone seemed stretched thin, and the nights were his alone. Sean was a practical man who may have been raised Catholic, but had long ago abandoned the faith. He was skeptical of the old superstitions and didn't hold with practicing any of the traditions, especially Imbolc. How was he expected to do all of those traditional offerings during his first lambing season without his parents? He knew he wasn't the only farmer that felt that way, and thus, St. Brigid's Day, or Imbolc, if you held true to the old ways, was more of an excuse to drink a pint in the pub than anything special. However, instead of heading to the pub for one of those pints, Sean spent all St. Brigid's Eve in the lambing barn. The first ewe went into labor and gave birth right as the clock rolled over to midnight. At first, it looked like a perfect, healthy lamb. Sean wiped away the slick of the birthing fluid. The eyes beneath didn't blink. They just stared. Unlike the normal yellow sheep eyes, the lamb's eyes were the color of fresh milk, and it just stared at him. The ewe immediately rejected it, not letting it nurse. Sean put it in the nursing area he had hastily constructed and went to attend another ewe that had just gone into labor. By dawn, dozens of lambs had been born, all with white eyes, never bleeding, and their gaze tracking Sean's every movement. All of them had been rejected by their mothers, leaving Sean to try to nurse them all. But none of them would take milk. All of them instead congealed together, creating a mass of wool with cloudy eyes, staring as if they knew something that Sean did not. The next 24 hours were not just hard for Sean, but for quite a few shepherds. Since the lambs had been rejected, the ewes' udders were swollen, but they would produce no milk. The one veterinarian on the peninsula had been frantically running from farm to farm, and when he lanced one of the udders on a dead ewe, it was full of curdled milk, black as tar that reeked of old copper. At the next dawn, Sean walked out to the barn to see if the lambs were still there. Despite their silence, they had also grown to the size of yearlings. Their milk-white eyes all focused on him as he approached where they were sitting in a circle. He didn't dare get too close to these creatures. To call them lambs was a lie. Inside the circle was an old offering plate for Brigid, where milk and bread would be laid out for her on Imbolc. Sean swallowed, suddenly feeling terrified of the implications. In the milk-pale surface of their pupils, Sean saw the flicker of hearths that had been cold for a century. The sound didn't come from their throats. It seemed to vibrate out of their very wool, a low, rhythmic chanting that made the floorboards hum. Sean paused and listened closely. It was soft voices reciting forgotten prayers in Old Irish, asking why no one made the crosses, why no ribbon was left out. Sean didn't wait to hear the end of the prayer. He bolted. He tore into his house, slammed the door, and ran until he reached the attic. Glancing around quickly, he saw his grandmother's old chest. Sean ran over there and opened it, slamming the top to the floor. There were her old rush crosses stored away, brittle and dusty. He grabbed them gently, and a slip of paper fell out. Pausing, he looked at it and grabbed it. In his grandmother's writing, he read,
"Brigid doesn't forget. She gave the milk, the new life. When we stopped asking proper, she stopped giving it clean."
"Oh, shite, Sean mumbled. He should have listened. Hell, they all should have. Sean's stomach dropped. He peeked out of the attic window and saw the lambs slamming up against the door. He grabbed the cross, holding it out in front of him as the door groaned, the wood splintering under the weight of a dozen small, sharp hooves. They still weren't bleating, instead just moving through the house. Sean clutched the brittle rush crosses to his chest, the dust of his grandmother's storage chest coating his tongue. Then he heard it, the dry, rhythmic clack of hooves on the hardwood, ascending the stairs in perfect unison. He began to pray, though he wasn't sure if he was praying to the saint or the thing that was currently hunting him. The dried rushes snapped like tiny bones under the pressure of his grip, a shower of brown dust falling over his shaking knees. Tears and snot started running down Sean's face as the hooves kept coming closer. The attic door didn't break, It simply bowed inward under the collective weight of the lambs. Sean backed away until his head hit the rafters. He held the cross out like a blade, but the lambs didn't flinch. They didn't even look at the cross. They looked at him. One by one, they crested the threshold. Their wool was no longer white. It was stained gray by the barn floor, and their milk-white eyes pulsed with a faint, bioluminescent glow in the shadows of the attic. They didn't growl. They didn't bleat. They simply moved toward him in a slow, undulating wave of fleece and bone. Sean tried to scream, but the air in the attic turned thick and sweet, smelling of fresh milk and ancient earth. The last thing he heard wasn't the sound of teeth or claws. It was the soft, rhythmic recitation of the prayers he had forgotten, whispered by a dozen mouths against his skin. The fires that don't burn wood flared in their eyes, and as the weight of the herd pressed him into the floorboards, Sean realized the milk wasn't black because it was rotten. It was black because the light had been ritualistically snuffed out. By the end of the week, the reports began to trickle in from the neighboring parishes. The Black Milk Blight, the papers called it. 7 farms across the peninsula were found silent, their owners missing or dead in their beds. Their livestock vanished into the mist of the Atlantic. Only the O'Shea and Crowleaf farms remained untouched. When the vet drove past their gates, he saw why. Hanging from every doorframe, every fence post, and every stable gate were fresh crosses of bright green rushes. On the stone walls sat bowls of cream, untouched by the wind, and long white ribbons fluttered from the hawthorn trees, dancing like ghosts in the salt air. They had remembered. The peninsula grew quiet that year. The modern tractors sat rusting in the sheds, and the pubs stayed empty on St. Brigid's Eve. From then on, no one cared much for the new ways of farming. They had learned that while the modern world brings the machines, it's the old world that brings the milk. And the old world is a jealous, hungry thing.
Welcome back to Crystal Clear Lore. I'm Crystal Lance, and I'm actually really excited for this episode. What about you, Brady?
You forgot to tell him we're in the closet.
No, we're always in the closet.
It's just a given at this point.
Look, the day we get out of the closet, that'll make a huge announcement that we're out of the closet.
Hey, we came out of the closet.
We have to do it in June.
We're working on it. I just wanted to say hello if you're new here, which I don't know what the cutoff for that is because we're pretty new in general. But if you're new to the show, this is the part where we're going to actually talk about the lore. After the creepy story, you get to actually learn stuff.
Yes.
So don't go away, I promise. It's not scary to learn stuff. It depends, I guess.
Yeah.
I was kind of scared to learn about that nasty stuff in that story.
Like, I'm really sorry about the udder, but I needed something. I was like, what's the nastiest color for milk? And it was like black.
It was bad, guys.
Like, if you have black milk, just throw it away.
It smells like copper. She had to add the smell in there.
I feel not bad at all.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm a little sick to my stomach for this one, guys.
So
I had to endure all that.
We're not talking about lambing or curdled milk or anything like that this time. We are going to be covering the holiday of Imbolc.
Yeah, that was just a gross vehicle for Imbolc. Gosh.
I'm really excited about this because this is we've been doing a lot of cryptids. We've been doing a lot of other, I think the only other folklore tradition we did was wassailing. And Brady and I liked it so much that we wanted to do some more and kind of branch out. We still are going to do cryptids, don't worry, but there's a ton of cryptids and yokai. There's also a ton of folklore we're going to do. We're thinking about adding in some gods. So this is going to be a big open door to a whole bunch of different folklore paths we haven't gone down yet. Yeah,
we're not stuck just doing the typical horror creatures and Bigfoot and, we're going to do it all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lore out there, guys, that you've never even heard of and that the other guys haven't covered.
Okay.
But they will.
So, a little reminder here and a big disclaimer about Imbolc. I am a practicing pagan witch.
Yeah.
And Brady was raised Baptist, but is no longer Baptist.
Well, it's complicated. I don't want to say raised Baptist necessarily, because I went to a few different churches, and even the different Baptist ones were different from each other.
know.
So it is just let's just say Christian.
Sure.
It's not like I'm like devoted. There's no dogma here.
No, that's what I mean. You don't practice a faith right now. I would call you what, agnostic?
I practice healthy agnosticism.
That's
I
fair.
call it, because I don't even want to like have the stigma of agnostic people, but whatever. I'm just very open-minded. Everything's fascinating to me.
That's
And
fair.
I like to try to tie it in and connect all the dots, and it's fun.
So I will be calling this holiday Imbolc, but I do know the Catholics call it St. Brigid's Day. Brigid's Day, sorry.
Okay.
And before I get a slew of angry comments that, well, it's, they stole Imbolc and Brigid and all that from the pagans. We know. We know. The Catholics like to adopt traditions as they spread because it's easier to convert the pagans and the people already there. We know.
Yeah. It is what it is.
So
This is just another one of those episodes where we have to call it out a little bit, but
I'm going to switch between calling her St. Brigid or St. Brigid's Day or Imbolc, just depending on how it
yeah, it's
feels right.
interchangeable.
It's the same day. It is the same.
Well, like Yule and Christmas, right?
Kind of.
It's relatively the same.
Yeah.
But essentially two different kind of perspectives.
Pretty much. So we're going to call, Brigid is going to be Brigid. Sometimes if you are Catholic or, you practice St. Brigid's Day, then obviously you're going to see her as a saint. If you are pagan or, I don't know, a historian or whatever, then you're going to see her as the pagan goddess Brigid. But I want to get this out of the way because then it can't cause issues as we go on. So, no angry comments. If you see people saying stuff that's saying whatever, like, be nice to each other, okay?
Just you guys know where the block button and all that stuff is. We don't need any drama in the comments if there's any kind of controversial subjects, because we're not trying to be controversial. We're just trying to give you facts, and that just, sometimes facts include information.
This is true.
You might not want to hear in the way we're presenting it. So,
okay.
Just if you're gonna even criticize us for it, just be nice at least. Okay, that's all we're asking.
Yeah. So I know we're gonna get people up in arms on both sides, but we got to come at this with an open mind. I am not here to present one side over another. I'm here to present facts.
Exactly. So now, with that disclaimer out of the way, we're probably going to give the most non-controversial take on something anyway. So let's go.
It's a spicy time on the internet.
Well, let's hear about St. Brigid first, since...
Well, what do you have you, before you started talking to me, did you ever hear of Imbolc?
No, because I never really tied into Catholicism side of Christianity. So I just, I've never even heard of it.
Okay.
This actually, you doing this episode was the first time I've ever even heard that word. Imbolc.
That's lies.
Or St. Brigid.
So,
as far as I know, anyway. I mean, I could be missing some memories there or something, but whatever.
Traditionally, it is a Gaelic festival that occurs on the 1st of February and sometimes the 2nd, depending on the moon. Lunar years.
This is a lunar-based operation.
Kind of, but not. It's complicated because Julian calendar, Gregorian calendar, I think, hard.
Just to tie back, I think we did cover this in a previous episode when around Christmas.
Wassailing.
Wassailing. Was it wassailing?
It was wassailing because
you're right.
12th night. Okay.
You're right, because anyway, get back into it. Sorry, I wanted to get you guys go back. If you haven't heard that episode, go listen to the wassailing episode.
Yeah, Imbolc actually is Old Irish, which I tried real hard with. So I translated everything to English because I can't with Gaelic. It is the one language that throws me really hard.
Well, I will speak for the audience and myself and say we appreciate it.
The prefix im means around, and the bulk translates to belly.
Oh.
So this could reflect a tradition of going around the field like a symbolic belly for a blessing before you sow your crops. That was a theory that was posted in one of my sources.
That's weird, but okay.
It could also
stretch.
It could also relate to the beginning of lambing season.
Okay.
Because lambing season is about that time.
Could it be like a rounded belly?
It could.
Just kind of slightly misunderstood or misinterpreted.
Maybe.
Because it's more in context to the belly part. So it could be pregnant lambs. It could be something else.
Could be a lot.
Feeding.
And this is like when they start really looking into planting and getting
Yeah.
all that going. So
I don't know. Who am I to be the interpreter here? I don't even know Irish.
Fair enough. The Catholics do know it as St. Brigid's Day. For the Catholic side, she is the patroness saint of Ireland, cattle and dairy work.
Okay.
And then there was a promise that she, gave, and this is from the saint side that I've seen. I've found nothing but the goddess. Every second day fine from my day onward and half of my own day. So every second day fine from my day onward and half my own day. So half of Imbolc will be good. And then like every other day, you're going to start having good weather.
Oh. I'm not sure I still understand completely that whole thing.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be translating it.
I was like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't get it.
So it's like, okay, so you're probably going to have half the day of Imbolc, say February 1st, right?
Okay.
Half of that's going to be great weather. Half of it's going to be horrible weather.
Just in the one day?
Yep.
Okay.
You've seen how it is up here in the Pacific Northwest. You'll have sunshine and then a snowstorm and then sunshine again.
Yeah, are we on the same longitude or whatever?
We're pretty
Or
close.
latitude?
I've heard a lot of stories about the British Isles. Well, that's controversy. England and Ireland,
Mhm.
those two islands, and they have very similar screwy weather that we do.
Yeah. It's wild up in these parts,
It's
folks.
it's an experiment. That's
You wake
what it
up
is.
with one weather and you go to bed with something that shouldn't even belong in that season.
And the Saint Brigid is exactly like literally her entire look is based off the pagan goddess Brigid from the Celtic religion.
Okay.
They didn't even make a stretch. The Catholics were just like, this is a saint.
They just sanctified? How does that work? Whatever.
Sanctified.
They Is that a real word?
Yes.
I meant like made a saint.
Sanctified.
That's actually what that means?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, we better check this. But anyway, this we're willy-nilly just making idols saints?
Yeah, they did that.
That's like against the 10 Commandments, dude. I'm not trying to judge
okay.
here, but I'm just saying.
Do you want to go on a tangent?
You might as well. I mean,
All
this
right,
is a
we'll get to
podcast
tangent.
after all. Hey, guys, that's what podcasts are for.
Quick tangent. I work with a Christian. And he calls the Catholics out like commonly for this because there is one of the commandments, I don't know which one. I'm not Christian. That's like have no other gods before me or something.
Yeah, that's like literally what I'm
third
referring
one?
to. But not necessarily
third
the
one?
gods thing, but it's also like you shouldn't have any idols.
Idols, that's the word.
Yeah.
I'm not Christian. So
Yeah, it's called idolatry, actually, and people
Yeah.
confuse the word being said fast as adultery, but a lot of times they're talking about idolatry, which is even like pretty much Japanese culture just breaks that and just all around with the whole
the mascots.
just everything about it. Their entire thing is based on idolatry.
But so he does call them out pretty regularly, and he is non-denominational Christian, and he's literally like, look, you cannot withhold. You can't be like, oh yeah, pro one section, and then, but also we're gonna do this other thing they said not to do.
Yeah. But there's probably a kind of a thing where they're like, we got the heathens and we got to fight them. Or I don't know even know. I'm not making assumptions here. I'm trying to put myself in like if I was in charge of it. Society's slipping.
This is the thing, is when no, we're not going to say Christianity. When Catholicism, because it was mostly the Vatican, so I feel like Catholicism's the right term.
For sure.
When that started really spreading, what happens is you're not going to get people to give up their holidays and all their traditions and stuff because
it's kind of ingrained,
Exactly.
It's kind of habit in a way, too habitual.
So it's much easier to go into Ireland as a Catholic missionary. I don't think there's a rank.
Okay.
A father.
I'm sure there was the people who they sent, I don't know.
Yeah, and just say,
you can tell we're not Catholicism experts. And if you are, please school us on this if you know better than us, okay?
Look, I read a lot of history books, not religious texts.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to get them, I think, intertwined.
But what they did is, so they went to Ireland, and what they do, and this is well documented, is they say, oh, well, your goddess Brigid, she's not a goddess, she's a saint. And so you get to do all the same things you're doing, but then you're also now going to be Catholic.
Oh, did they like defang idols by doing that?
Kind of, yeah.
Because if people were worshiping something as a goddess, then they would kind of just take it down a rank and be like, nah, it's just a picture.
Yeah, it's just a saint because there can only be one.
Exactly. So
God.
they're deranking. Actually, that's smart. See? We got to the bottom of it.
That's literally what they did. And it's well documented.
Diabolical, too.
But
not in the negative, connotation, but
sanctified is the word that we were looking for, by the way. It's to make holy or consecrate. To sanction, approve, like.
Okay, almost.
I might be.
Thing. Maybe it's the same thing.
I know, like, a benediction is also close to make someone a saint, because, like, Mother Teresa got her benediction to be a saint.
Like the eggs?
What?
Benedict eggs.
No.
Eggs Benedict.
No, it's not.
Sorry, Benedict eggs.
Benedict Eggsberbatch?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He was good in Sherlock.
Yeah, he was really good at Sherlock. He was Smog, too.
Yeah, great actor.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go back. We're going back to the goddess here.
I'm sorry, guys. It's late in a closet.
All right, so Saint Brigid is the patroness saint of Ireland, cattle, and dairy work. The pre-Christian goddess, Celtic goddess, is of fire, smithing, fertility, cattle, crops, and poetry.
That's a lot. This is kind of a random. That's like that's the junk drawer.
So this happens a lot with pagan religions, is that they have a lot of things that overlap.
Yeah.
Right. So when we start going through more gods, you're going to notice there's a lot of overlap, because it's like, oh, she's got like St. Brigid's fire is a big thing. So that's where the smithing comes in, crops and cattle and all that. This is the time of year that you start thinking about that. So there's a method to their madness.
Yeah, because we're coming out of winter.
Yes.
And around now. And so, yeah, you would be thinking, about all your livestock and getting everything prepped.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's lambing season. This
getting ready to be busy.
This actually starts off the farmer's year. Like the day after Imbolc is literally, that's the farmer's year. Here it goes.
There it goes. Starting it up. Get to work. Crack the whip.
And the fishermen start to see winter, they see winter storms start abating too. So the fishing season starts kicking back up.
Pretty much all production, I would say. It's probably a good time to start that.
Yep.
Especially in the old days. I mean, nowadays, we have so much climate control and control over the environment that everything's just 24/7. But back then, it was just pretty dependent on the seasons.
Definitely. Okay, so I'm going to say some things because we still practice a form of Imbolc today, and I want to see when you get it.
Okay.
It's a very common thing.
Is that why you called me a liar?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I actively tell you this every year, but...
She planted a little seed.
All right. Okay, so paying attention to the weather this time of year is very important. The festival day should show improvement, but if it was an exceptionally fine day, it meant foul weather was coming.
Okay.
Rain was really a welcome this on Imbolc. The proverbs state, I did find some, a rainy February makes the year beautiful, or if February gives much snow, a fine summer it doth foreshow.
I like that.
I do too.
Did you rely on that?
I don't know. I'm going to have to track it.
We should look. You guys, I encourage you guys to look that up and see if it's known to be relied upon, because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that.
In Ireland,
farming.
In Ireland, it probably could, but the world is so big with its different things.
You got to think they didn't really maybe they didn't even have almanacs in that area in that time. And so they just had to have that phrase. Either to kind of codify something to easily remember. You could just be like, okay, it's rainy in February. Yeah.
Like, it'll be good. Like, we've got April showers brings May flowers still.
That's what I mean. It's exactly the same kind of thing. And then you have Groundhog's Day. We have all these little things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? It's all over your face.
I was trying to not.
The reason that our lore is so crystal clear is because she can't lie.
I can't.
Ladies and gentlemen, because she cracks like an egg.
I do. So my next point was, if you saw a hedgehog on Imbolc, it's a good sign.
Yo.
They stay out if the weather is going to be nice.
Sonic.
But if it's going to turn, if it's going to get like cruddy, they're going to dip back inside its burrow, just like the hedgehogs now. That we use, the hedgehogs, we use the groundhogs now.
I get it. We kind of just took this shadow thing.
Pretty much.
And I don't even know if is that an American tradition necessarily in that form?
I think that's something that got brought over on the boat.
I was just wondering, was it American in that form, or was it changed before it even came here to that? Because it sounds like almost something more British.
I honestly, I could not find anything.
Like, okay, I'm not even going to try to do the accent, but I could see the British doing like, oh, tally ho, it's the little sucker coming out of the ground.
Well, so that the hedgehog coming out actually is like a thing, right, from Ireland.
Yeah.
But the shadow, being scared of its own shadow, I don't think that's something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna encourage myself and you guys to look into that a little further, because I think there's some interesting lore there we haven't covered quite fully.
I didn't find anything on the shadow being from Ireland. So I think it got adapted later.
Maybe it is American. I have this whimsy. It has this whimsy about it that I just feel has to come from something else.
It's probably us. Let's be real.
Because I know originally, obviously, now I didn't realize it, but until now. But obviously, that explains the whole thing overall.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's cool.
Hearing a lark is also a good sign. It means like we're gonna have a good spring. So, and I do not know what a lark sounds like, so I'm gonna have to look that up because I've never heard a lark in my life.
If I was a real podcast guy with the buttons, I would probably just insert the sound effect now. But guys, this can take me like half an hour. Don't make me do it.
We're gonna make you do it.
Go look it up, guys. We got smartphones, okay?
Okay, so
in the 90s.
Ireland's like not compared to America. Ireland's a tiny country, right? But whereas I'm gonna probably compare it to one of the larger states, I think size-wise, they have different parishes. Which is what like Louisiana calls their counties. It's a parish, not a county. I
looked into like those classifications once because there's like borough, parish, town, like with an actual township.
Yeah.
And there's all these different things. There's a lot I didn't know about. And it kind of gets fascinating. Go down that rabbit hole sometime. So, but yeah.
Ireland does have some parishes that are dedicated to Brigid. In those parishes, Imbolc was seen as a holiday, and the only work taken was whatever was deemed strictly necessary.
Oh, I see. Oh, like kind of like the what they call them in the COVID days, the necessary workers.
Yeah, whatever that was
called.
What
did they call them? Anyway, brain fart on that one.
COVID was wild, and I think
my brain's trying to just forget about all that.
We're repressing COVID.
Yeah, exactly. We won't even go there. Sorry, guys.
One interesting thing I found, one of the big things that you don't do on Imbolc is any work requiring the turning of a wheel. So spinning, riding a bicycle, anything like that, just completely prohibited. It is bad luck day for travel or starting new fast-moving projects, especially with spinning, like a spinning wheel. It's considered unlucky because the swift movement might disrupt the gentle awakening of the earth.
Oh, that got way deeper than I thought it was going to get, because I'm just sitting over here like it's some crazy shit like with the rules on the Sabbath and stuff like that, which, might have legitimate reason, but to a person on the outside, it's like, you can't do that on a Sunday, what? But it's like, then it got heavy. So, okay, I got to unpack that for a second, because they thought that the centrifugal force, so I'm going to go into this a little bit more scientifically, but the centrifugal force of something spinning, I think this is genius in a way. They kind of, there's some forces they understood. I wouldn't expect them to at the time. Centrifugal force of something spinning would throw off the delicate balance of the earth spinning.
Yes. Well, the awakening.
There's something to that. Maybe it is. Maybe the effects are exaggerated.
You're going too big.
Exaggerated.
Too big. Too big picture. Go small
the Earth's
picture.
Awakening.
The earth, the dirt, I think, is more like because
I figured maybe they had some kind of a sense about the actual.
Well, Imbolc is the halfway point between Yule or the winter solstice or Christmas.
That's
or whatever.
what I mean. Maybe they didn't want to throw off that rotation of the earth and fuck everything up.
And the spring equinox, right? Or Ostara, or yeah. So winter, spring, Imbolc's right in the middle.
Okay.
So that's when usually everything's starting to wake back up. The robins come back. All this, the migratory birds are starting to kind of come back and it's starting to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be slow. If you think about like slow,
low and slow.
If you think about how snow melts, It's really slow.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
methodical.
it's definitely not like an instantaneous
The-
event.
Birds come back slowly. They don't you don't get like a giant flock of like 40 robins sitting in your yard.
Correct. So, okay.
Like we only have right now, it's just like this is January and I have robins back. And I can tell they're the migratory robins because they're freaking fat.
So, either way, either way, they just don't really want like any kind of a disruption to the
nature was going to take it. It always
its course of nature. Yeah,
it's slow. The transition between winter and spring is very slow, and it feels methodical, and it feels very.
It's still deep because then it's kind of prohibiting like getting to work on the farm and
you gotta go slow
with the
for
cycle,
a day.
trying to advance the cycle and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
maybe I'm overthinking it too.
I think you're getting there. You're getting there.
But that's interesting. It's so interesting though. That's all. Because it's like, I don't know, agriculture is so human.
It's very human.
And it's so old in humans. And it's such a fascinating thing that we figured that out. The science of it's amazing. I don't know. I praise the accomplishment. It's one of the under-talked about accomplishments of humanity in a way. Because, gosh.
We could do
couldn't be in a closet recording this podcast telling you about the lore of it if not for agriculture. So shout out to the cows and the farmers and the crops and everybody involved in that industry.
One of the things that was pretty common though, since you couldn't use wheels, it was a day of stock taking. So like a housewife, she might go in her larder and look at like how food supplies are holding up.
That's smart.
What does she got to work with? Because we've got another 6 weeks, give or take. And then like a farmer would maybe go check the animal feed and figure out, okay, well, how do I divvy it among the animals? You got to get it. Because you got to just guess you're going to have another 6 weeks of winter at this point.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, okay, roughly.
And like a lot of I'm going to call it what is it called? I want to call Wheel of Time. That's a book series.
Yeah.
Wheel of the Year. There it is.
Wheel of the Year.
Wheel of the Year holidays.
Wheel of the Bounce. If you know, you know.
This is like a big thing, so they have a feast because man, do people love feasting? Love a party. Man.
God always ties back to feasting. I've noticed. It's kind of weird how all these pagan and Catholic stories just have a feast somehow.
We love a feast. We love a party. Yeah. It's great.
That's humans right there. We grow lots of food, and then we celebrate that we grew a bunch of food.
So the night before Imbolc, so I want to call it, because I don't have like Imbolc Eve sounds hard for my brain. I'm going to call it...
Is that what it's supposed to be called?
I don't know.
Imbolc's Eve?
I'm going to call it St. Brigid's Eve.
St. Brigid's Eve, that's probably better.
The house, you always clean the house. You got a tasty treat or a feast prepared the night before. One of the traditional foods they made was called Barmbrack. It is a sweet bread that's speckled with fruit that's been soaked in tea and whiskey.
I wish you guys could see the face I make. I hope it's portraying through my voice. Cause,
I'll try.
I'll try the tea. The tea soaked. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of like the taste of alcohol personally. Same. I'm sure there's so many listeners out there that would really dig that one, actually. But maybe Venn diagram, there's probably a lot that also don't like tea, which is blasphemy in this household.
It really is, actually.
So we won't go there. We're not judging.
Neighbors usually would like converge, right? They would converge on a house or whatever. And then the evening was literally just fun and festive nature. Yeah. One thing I really like, and I get why they did it, and I get why we don't do it anymore, but I wish this kind of thing was still around. Butter is like a huge part of the meal for St. Brigid's Eve.
Okay.
Richer neighbors would gift butter and buttermilk to the poorer residents. And then sometimes they would butcher a sheep and send out meat to friends and the poor.
There you go. That's,
So I was like, man,
very philanthropic.
Why don't we do that? I get butter's like $2 a pound. It's like, get why we don't do that. Yeah. But I was like, man, getting buttermilk would be great.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we are in a rural area, and, I always think about this, where why don't we have why isn't the community involved with each other and have an actual community farm and a community livestock and a community, you know what I mean?
That's cool.
Grain stock and stuff like that, where not necessarily just free access to everyone. We're like, okay, if there's crap happened and now there's like an influx of poor people all of a sudden in the town.
That's gonna go to tin hat
now
territory.
we have a little bit of a goddamn cushion, you know what I mean? And so it's just like the sharing aspect is what I'm kind of, the community and the sharing aspect is what I was really getting at, tying it into what you were saying. But
yeah, we've lost it.
I just think that should be, I mean, that's never worked. You can't have that with big cities, but whatever. I think it would be healthier for the communities that supply big cities with the food to have their own cushion.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I think that might be the big problem is we're not really, I mean, where we're at in North Idaho, most of the farms are leaving.
Yeah.
And they're getting replaced with
most of the farms in America are commercial anyway.
True. And we're getting, I mean, when I'm driving through a road, I feel so old lately because I'm like, this all used to be farms.
Here we go.
Now look at all these ugly houses they put in.
Back in my day, this was all Farmer John's land, and his pigs smelled like crap.
Actually, it used to be cows. We still have a lot more cow farms
up here. Yeah,
but anyway,
yeah, it's just what it is. What it is, you know. But that's humans have always been involved with growing food, and it's we get a lot of our brains have like reward systems built in. I won't go too far into like neuroscience or whatever, but like I'll stay in my lane a little bit. But as far as I can understand, we have reward systems for growing food and like and harvest. That's why we have like big festivals around the time of year during harvest, and then moving onward into starting to grow it. That's true. We just celebrate the whole process because it's the earth is giving us life in a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so it's worth celebrating and it's also worth celebrating our organization of it and management of it to feed everybody. And I think I'm going to try my best to sound less preachy here, but we're doing a poor job of it. And so maybe the spirit of Imbolc can be something that could be positive if we could just kind of light the spark again.
It would be nice because there's a lot of things that we've let go that I wonder if we should bring back. But I will get there. I'll get there. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I'm not trying to be on a soapbox or a high horse. I just come on.
We're talking about a literal holiday, and it's got a god attached to a goddess attached to it. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. So it's good discussion. The eve of the festival. So again, St. Brigid's Eve. Apparently, Brigid herself would wander the countryside, blessing her people and the livestock.
Lovely.
You could welcome her with pieces of bread and butter or cake on a windowsill outside. The cake might be the Barmbrack. I did not find anything 100% saying that, but it feels right.
Okay.
Sometimes this was meant for, you could also just give it to someone who is down on their luck.
Oh,
so
I like that.
You'd put it out and say, one of the many homeless people we have in the country right now could
give
just
a cake
eat
or
it.
Some bread, butter to a homeless guy.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm sure it's not like extremely rigid to be bread and butter or cake. I'm sure it could be anything, just food in general.
That vibe,
right?
yeah. But then if no one did come, the family would bring it inside in the morning and eat it, so it didn't go to waste.
Okay. Fair enough. That's also good not to waste. I love this whole thing.
I do have it where a lot of different places had different offerings as well. The one I found, it was just like a really big dairy community.
Oh.
So that's why it was butter for them, and it was bread, and it was big agriculture.
Okay.
Corn is also appreciated because Brigid has a favorite white cow that travels with her.
Okay.
Which I love. And I could not find the cow's name.
Gotta have a favorite cow.
It is a great cow.
I think I've heard every farmer has a favorite cow.
Everybody has a favorite cow.
Yeah.
So in this story, we talked about how the ribbons would get left on the hawthorn trees.
Yeah.
And some people would leave a silk ribbon outside, and it would prove as a remedy for most maladies.
Fascinating.
It can keep a person safe, encourage good health with livestock, and even give a glimpse into the future if it had lengthened during the night. So people would take, like, let's say you've got 6 inches of silk ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you'd put it out overnight. You bring it back in the morning and measure it, and sometimes it would literally lengthen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not okay. I wasn't there.
If it lengthened, it foretold long life, plentiful harvest, and protection from misfortune.
Okay.
The older the ribbon grew, or the older the ribbon became, the more its power would grow, right? Which it would peak after 7 years. Which 7, for anybody that's even semi close to witchiness.
Numerology adjacent.
Yeah, 7's a big power number. It's the only single digit prime number. It's a
big number, guys.
It's a huge power number.
You just know it because you see it and you just know it.
We still use it.
It has a power. It's a symbol.
We still use it in casinos. Everybody knows the 777 from the casinos. That's how powerful 7 is.
It's symbols are just a bunch of concepts and meanings packed into something that we translate. That's all.
Okay.
And so that one's just a big one.
I found the cutest little ritual, by the way, that some people used to do, where a little girl would stand in for St. Brigid. Do you want to hear it?
Ooh, cute.
Sounds super cute. Okay. So sometimes it's a maiden too, but it says a girl. One of the family, usually a girl, sometimes named Bridget or Brigid or whatever. Yeah. They'd leave the house, and when outside, they turn around and they knock on the door 3 times to seek admittance. Yeah, she'd carry rushes in her hands, and each time on knocking, she'd say, "Go down on your knees, do homage, and let blessed Brigid enter the house." When this has been said for the 3rd time, those inside respond, "Oh, come in, you are 100 times welcome." Okay, so we're going to break this down. We're going to pause here and break it down. That is literally, come in, good energy.
Oh.
Come into our house, good vibes. We want good vibes in here, right? That was just very ritualistically symbolic of that.
Yeah, kind of welcoming in some good vibes.
Some
new vibes.
Then the girl, maiden, would enter and place the rushes under the table. The supper would already be laid out on the table. Grace would be recited by the parents. And then after the meal, so they would say grace, they'd have the meal, then they'd give a Thanksgiving prayer. After that, they will plate the rushes and they make them into crosses. The father and mother would make a very large cross. So the parents, that's kind of their job.
I see.
When I'm talking about a cross, by the way, I am not talking about the crucifixy cross with all the I don't know what to call it, the Christian cross, I guess?
Sure.
But I'm talking about Brigid's cross, which has literal multiple iterations. You can literally just Google image Brigid's cross and a bunch of different ones pull up because every county had their own little take on it. And I will put a link. We're trying to get a link.
Sorry about the typing noises.
We're going to try to link some of the big one that was found for the sources,
okay.
But
it's like a cross, but like the posts are a little bit offset to a center square.
Sometimes.
So
not always.
That's what it looks like on all of these images anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, they're all a little different.
I mean, let's be real. It's basically a swastika, but it doesn't have the extra arms coming off of each
Instead
arm.
of the L, it's
Instead
just
of the fingers. It just has the arms.
Instead of an L, it's just a line.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the best way to describe it.
So
it's literally what it is, because then it extends into the. We won't get into the symbolism of that.
No,
it's too offensive. So you guys can look that up. That's fun.
The crosses are then sprinkled with holy water, and then they're hung on the roof or walls. So that's a pretty common one I found. There's other ones that they've done.
So, excuse me to say, there seems to be a lot of magic in that.
There's a lot of magic.
Just
crazy.
Even that symbol in the 7, and there's a lot of, around this whole thing, there seems to be a lot of going on.
But witchcraft's bad.
There's a lot of craft going on.
I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah. Is there any new terms that that you guys have figured out for magic yet? Because that has a stigma. Witchcraft has a stigma.
Oh no!
What do you guys got a new word
I'm
for
sorry,
it?
but if
is that giving it away? I don't want to give it away.
If other groups of people can reclaim words, then so can we.
You just take it back. Well,
that's our word now.
Better strategy. Better strategy. You got to come up with something else.
It's
to refresh.
No, because we all kind of embrace the word witch.
Okay. That's fair. I noticed that. Yeah. Nobody cares anymore.
That's like, what are you going to do?
Who cares, a square?
You can't hurt us with the words that we choose to embody. That's I will say, I'm not going to say the words, but there are racial groups that accept
I was not going to go there.
Words that were once used to hurt them, but,
Yeah. There's other contexts too, but that's a notable one.
I'm uncomfy. And there's also, I know homosexual people that call themselves the F word.
Exactly.
Because,
yeah, I get it. So it's like it's also another like a defanging.
Yeah.
Of a meaning.
Can't hurt us if we already know that what we are.
Exactly. There you go. Man, we're touching on some third rails here. This is a spicy episode.
If they did not, so sometimes they would have they would not use like a family daughter. Say it was like a bigger village.
Mm-hmm.
They would dress up the most modest and beautiful girl.
Interesting.
With a crown of rushes, put a shield on her left arm and a Brigid's cross on her right to walk from house to house to bless them.
What's a rush, by the way? I should have
like
asked this earlier, but I got
the little
carried away.
Plant things that the crosses are made out of. They're
like
those
little twigs almost.
Kind of. They're
green, they're twiggy things.
Literally a plant. They're kind of like a grassy plant.
It's like a ropey, grassy twig thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe, but you'd understand if you'd seen it.
I would say it's like a long, ropey grass.
Okay. Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Is there significance to why they use those, or just was it an abundance?
I think it's abundance. It's just easy.
Cheap abundance. Okay.
They're pretty prolific on their growing.
Yeah. Okay. Like a weed.
Sometimes the girls do give gifts, or the girl standing in for the saint does give gifts as well. While she does that.
Lovely.
Boys were given a straw rope.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because
I'm sorry. Boys.
No, because everything so far has been about girls, but like boys were involved too.
Boys. Sorry. Just joking.
Boys were given a straw rope. They usually put 4 crosses of the rushes on it, and then that creates Saint Brigid's girdle.
Girdle.
The
heck is a girdle?
I have one that I wear regularly.
Okay, anyway.
It's the thing that goes around your waist.
Oh.
I have one. I wear it regularly.
Why is it a girdle? Anyway,
I don't
on.
know. I'm
sorry.
Etymology.
Confused by that.
Language
is fun.
The boys would visit houses, and then the residents would pass like under the girdle to prevent illness, especially pain in the bones.
I got some of that.
Okay, so I got that from, oh my gosh, The Year in Ireland, Irish Calendar Customs by Kevin Donaher from 1972. It was called
Kevin.
It was called Pain in the Bones. I'm thinking it might be arthritis.
Like Granny has?
Like Granny's got arthritis.
That's great. If you know, you know.
But that's the only thing I can think of that it can be something like that. Because I was trying to think about it. I was like, pain in the bones. It could be that. Osteoporosis could be it. I think that's part of it too. But yeah, bone pain.
I got bone pain sometimes.
Yeah, man, we all do. We all get to that age.
Yeah, guys, take care of yourselves. It's hard out here.
There was a lot of things, by the way, in that Year of Ireland. Literally, I leaned so heavy on this because he wrote just so much about Imbolc.
That must have been hard to compile and try to articulate, and good for him.
Well, and he went into detail about every single county and how it was different and how the crosses were all different and how this was different. So I sat there and trying to compile notes, but I was like, man, there's so much information.
Well, no wonder. Okay, yeah, your brain has been fried.
It's so fried.
It makes sense now.
Washing the entire body is also a common activity. Now, it's not now, right? Because we wash daily or every other daily.
This was a bit more significant at the time.
It's pretty significant when you don't have
bath time.
Yeah, when you don't have running water.
I imagine it wasn't even the most comfortable of conditions for it either, because there's probably cold.
I'm sure
they're out there. The cold. Sorry,
you could boil the water. You could boil the water.
That's true. I'm sure they did, but it's still. But are they recycling the water? They all, because I've heard horror stories of old baths.
Yeah, they probably just reuse the water.
The poor sucker who has to take the last few baths.
Man. Ooh. However, the washing the entire body, that actually might be older than Imbolc. There was some stuff that is pointing towards it coming from the Romans before the start of their new year.
Oh, okay.
So if the farmer's new year kicks off with Imbolc, the Romans' new year was March 1st.
Why?
That gets into Roman lore.
Well, we won't go there.
Can't
intermix the lore.
We can't be talking too much about the Hellenics when we're talking about the Gaelics right now, or the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like,
we don't like to jump too forward into the lore. Tie it back a lot, though.
But I was really excited to see this. you know how Wasailing came back after COVID?
Yeah.
So did Imbolc.
Oh, I like that because I was just saying I think it would be a good spirit to, like kind of represent a better outlook on how we treat, I guess, the earth and the food and everything.
But I don't know if they do a lot of the same traditions over there. But they called it Imbolc, not St. Brigid's Day. So that tells me that the Catholic Church is having less influence over its government. And the Irish government made it a, like, I guess, national holiday. Because I think federal is an American thing. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a federated organization term.
The Irish government made it a national holiday starting in 2023.
Okay.
So they've had like this coming Imbolc will be their third Imbolc that they actually have like a dedicated national day off for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, spread that. That's cool.
So I was very happy. So I was like, oh, look at that. They're bringing stuff back.
Good. Your people shall be happy.
Yes.
The pagans I'm referring to.
Yeah, I think everybody would be happy with the day off.
Everyone deserves extra holidays.
I think it's the 10th national holiday that Ireland has.
What did I say? I mean, if we're unchecked, we're just gonna every other day is gonna be a holiday. It's like we're gonna go to work on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. That seems like the day of the week that's least likely to be a holiday. It's just poor Tuesday.
Yeah,
it's a shit on day.
Yep.
It should be the Monday of things, but anyway. Poor Tuesday would be the day we go to work, and every other day would just be some fucking holiday.
No. See,
it's going to happen. I don't know how long in the future, but it's algorithmic. It's going to happen.
We could talk about the 32-hour work week and how Spain's actually seeing a lot of higher productivity and how it's working even over here in the States.
Yeah.
But that's not this podcast.
No.
But go do research. It's really fascinating.
Well, you got to stop with your little seeds here.
You should pressure people. Everyone.
Anyway.
One thing I did not put in my notes, but I remembered because I watch a lot of YouTube. And
for research.
Yeah, for research. Well, I watch a lot of YouTube. But Jacksepticeye, who, I mean, anybody that knows anything about Irish YouTubers, he's like the big one.
Yeah.
Right? So he was talking to his girlfriend, Evelyn, and during one of the games I was watching her play, apparently in Ireland, they have their seasons differently. So even
never thought of that.
Evelyn, who's Dutch, right?
Yes.
Spring is March, right?
Yes.
March, April, May. According to Jacksepticeye or Sean, it is February, March, April is spring.
Weird.
And that's because Imbolc starts in February.
Oh, duh. Yeah, that makes sense.
But we go off.
He's Gaelic.
Yes, he's Irish. But he goes off of, Ireland goes off February, March, April, but we go off of March, April, May, and I think that's because March is when the equinox is.
Yeah, that makes sense because all our calendars kind of have all those marked out. So
yes.
It makes sense to go off that, I guess, in our calendars. I don't know.
That's fascinating tidbit.
That's a realm of lore that is fascinating, but it's brain hurty.
Super brain hurty.
Hurty my brainy.
So I want to reach out to any of you guys that are listening. One, enjoy Imbolc or St. Brigid's Day, or if you're Irish, enjoy the day off from work because everybody loves that.
Take a day off, folks. That's awesome. Yeah. And don't be spinning nothing.
Yeah,
I will come over there and find you. We'll stop that spinning now. Well, all right.
If you have other holidays or gods or I don't know, anything that you want us to talk about, hit us up. You know, you got our email, wormsongmedia@gmail.
No, be nice. We are new, so it's not like we've had time to cover them all yet. But give us some of your ideas you want to hear about. If you got a weird, obscure, like a local lore legend that everybody kind of knows about that keeps you on, keeps everybody on edge at a campfire story or something that you all know about, because everybody's got kind of local legends, and that actually might help us research something we've never even heard of that's not even in any of the books that she likes.
That feels unlikely.
Well, that's why I'm putting out the challenge. I'm putting out the challenge because I want to see it. I want to see if there's some ones we just haven't even caught.
That feels mean. I think you just challenged a whole bunch of people that randomly listen to this for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear because they're from all over.
That's true.
According to our little metrics. So
That's
who
true.
knows what the books have missed or what books you've missed, and because it's not like you've read every book.
No, but I do
So-
have an entire reading list that literally I'm reading
Yeah.
stuff I put on it in 2016.
Well, let's see if they can beat you to the punch. That's my challenge.
Look,
Beat her to the punch.
I see all the good books come in, and then I want to read all the good books. And I don't have time
This
to read
one,
all
you
the
guys,
good books.
this is why it's a challenge, because she's going to read these very quickly. You ever seen Short Circuit with the robot?
Yeah.
And he wants to read, and he just through the book like in 3 seconds.
I wish I
you.
could do that.
That's you.
No, I can just read it at a higher pace than most people. Anyway, don't worry about that.
Anyway, guys.
But we do have more gods coming. We've got more cryptids coming. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to branch out a little bit for
We're
the
both
folklore.
excited. Yeah. This is awesome. But I encourage you guys to get on the comment, make some comments, and engage with each other more than even us. I think that's more important because we're the lore. We're busy over here cooking up the episodes, but you guys need to have the discussions.
Yeah.
That's up to you. That's where the magic's born.
You know what? If you guys want, I think Imbolc is on a Sunday this year. So night before, you know what? Go put some ribbon outside.
Oh yeah, I was actually just about to say. Now, I'm taking something away. As I think I'm going to put some bread and butter out on the windowsill. Let's get the spirits higher for the season.
Right? We all need it because the last few years in the 2020s has been rough.
That's what I mean. I think we should optimize and take every W we can get here. I mean, if we have to go to whatever lengths of just showing of humbleness and appreciation and humility to the earth. Hey,
You know what?
I don't think it could hurt.
Or to your God or whatever
Yeah.
you practice. We will never judge you based on anything except the way you act. So if I do see nasty comments, I will block you.
Yeah. But also, I will leave this with get to work. Sorry, I yelled, but get to work.
What do you mean get to work? It's supposed to be a day of rest. Shush.
But after that, it's get to work.
Yeah, pretty
That's what I
much.
meant. So, all right. Well, I hope that made the Imbolc and or St. Brigid's Day
Yes.
crystal clear.
Bye.
Bye.
Follow us on Threads and Insta at Wormsong Media. That's WYRMSONG Media. Want to reach out to us? Email us at wormsongmedia@gmail. Again, that's WYRMSONGMEDIA@gmail.